Hi, it's Varya Malina. You probably remember me from the show 90 Day Fiancé. So today marks 1255 days since my loved one, Geoffrey has been in prison. I decided to open up about this terrible experience we're both having with the prison system here in Tennessee. I want to share with you our updates, some of our struggles, and of course our hopes. Let's go. In April 2024, Geoffrey was moved from the state prison to what many inmates call an absolute nightmare, private prison. Unlike public prisons, private prisons are run by companies whose main goal is to make money. So they prioritize profit over inmate safety, rehabilitation. It leads to severe understaffing, poor living conditions, and higher rates of violence. Geoffrey is currently in Trousdale Turner Correctional Center, and the situation there is horrifying. They are severely understaffed, which affects pretty much every aspect of life inside. The gang members are out of control with their violence. The deaths in prison are the highest in Tennessee and potentially highest in the entire US. There is often just one guard for over 500 inmates. Just the other weekend, one inmate beat off another inmate's top lip. Stabbing, beatings happen there pretty much every day. When I first heard that Geoffrey was being transferred, I hoped it's going to be kind of an improvement over Northeast Correctional Complex where he was before, but instead, my anxiety skyrocketed. Every day I'm scared for his life. If I don't have my regular morning call from him, my mind goes to the darkest places. Like, is he in a hospital? Did something irreversible happen to him? And then, maybe a day later, maybe at the end of the day, I get a call from him and he says that there was another stabbing or murder and the phone were broken and they were on a lockdown, so he couldn't reach out to me. And every time my heart sinks, I have a cold sweat running down to my back, and I'm thanking universe that it wasn't him who got hurt this time. If you want me to share more stories like this, or maybe you have questions for me or want me to talk about my everyday life, just let me know in the comments and hit that follow button so you won't miss the next video. Let's talk about visits in Trousdale Turner. Our visits have changed, and not for the better. Compared to public prisons where we had 6-7 hour visit every week, plus all the government holidays, right now in Trousdale we have 3 hours every other week and no government holidays. And even with that, often we visitors let in 15-30 minutes later due to understaffing. They don't have enough officers to conduct all the security checks. We have to go through metal frame, we have to be patted down, we have to go through X-ray machine, we have to be sniffed by a dog, and only after all of these procedures we can see finally our loved ones. You'd think that all these extreme security measures would keep the contraband out of prison, but in reality, the most of contraband comes not from visitors, it comes from prison guards. Like that story, in October last year, there was a prison guard, Nicola Nwasu, I think. She got stabbed by an inmate and she got hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. But during the investigation, it came out that she was in a relationship in an inmate and she was smuggling food, SD cards, drugs, and she even made over $4,000 profit. When the truth came out, Geoffrey was shocked because that guard was such a stickler, according to Geoffrey. She was very strict. He wouldn't think about she could do something like that. And when one person gets caught, another person, guard, comes right on that place. So there are always contraband inside, especially drugs. So many people overdosed. It's terrible. Okay, back to visits. We are only allowed to hug and kiss twice during our visit, when we greet each other and when we say bye. The only food we have comes from vending machines, and it's absolutely junk food. It's processed meats, sandwiches, it's sweets with artificial dyes and other not healthy ingredients. It's hard for us to eat hardly anything. Geoffrey usually brings some apples from his pot and shares with me and the kids when we come. Sometimes he asks me to buy honey bun or a fudge round or a Reese cup. That's his main guilty pleasure, his main cheat meal. I visit Geoffrey only on weekends, but how does his typical day look like? So his schedule starts at ridiculously early, 3 a.m. in the morning. That's when they serve breakfast. Then at 6 a.m. he does his workout routine, push-ups, some abs, and he created his own exercise with the things that are available in the prison, because there is no gym with weights. So he come up with an idea of climbing the bars on the window. Has bars, so he does kind of like monkey bars, up and down 4 times non-stop, and none of the other inmates can repeat something like that. So he keeps his body strong. He has calluses all over his hands, but it makes him more masculine, I guess. Then 7:15 he starts his work, and not all the inmates have work. I would say the minority of inmates have work there. Throughout the day there are necessary counts. They happened around 9:30, 2:30 and 8:30. During the counts, all the inmates has to be locked in their cells, if they have cells, because in Geoffrey's pod they don't have, it's open dorms, which is another nightmare. So they are locked for an hour and a half during that count time, and there are several counts during night as well, which makes resting absolutely impossible. They wake you up, they count you, you go to sleep. They wake you up, count you, you go to sleep. The prison has 6 phones and 2 microwaves for each 128 people, which makes huge lines. And even though the phone calls are essential, they are pretty expensive. It's about 7.5 cents per minute to talk, and they also charge you some money to put money on your commissary, on your calls. They don't allow to put more than $50, and they charge you $3 every time just to put money. It's a huge business for them, and the wages are practically nothing. Most of the inmates make about $20 per month. The inmates that have jobs, and it's almost nobody has jobs there. And everything in the very expensive in commissary, like ramen is 50 cents, honey bun is $2.40, toothpaste $7. Despite all the terrible conditions, Geoffrey's been Geoffrey. He tries to stay positive. He watches his TV. Almost everybody, I think everybody has that small TV they can watch. He watches National Geographic, History Channel, he watches BBC, something about wildlife, Yellowstone, national parks, animals. He misses all of that, being in nature. He misses that probably the most after me. Most of the time he watches TV when he goes to sleep or all day on Saturday. going to sleep, as I said, it's very hard because of the open dorm concept. That means that everybody is listening to music, shouting, causing chaos at all times. Lots of people are on drugs and they are just screaming or doing crazy things. So there is absolutely no private space and no silence at any time. It's a torture with a constant sound, noise. By the way, Geoffrey used to take some mental health medication and sleeping pills when he used to be in Northeast Correctional, but in Trousdale they don't even have the same prescription. So he made a tough decision to stop taking any medication because he feels like he needs to be more alert, to be able to protect himself there in Trousdale. As of right now, Geoffrey works in intake. It's when new inmates come, he checks them in, he gives them essentials, and it's considered one of the best jobs. It's easy, you can communicate with people, not only incoming inmates, but also some of the staff members, which makes it good. You're in a good position. In his free time, he tries to use every minute to make his day meaningful. He takes every classes that are available in that prison, which is not much, unfortunately. When he used to be in Northeast Correctional, he was pre-approved for a bachelor's in ministry studies, but right now it's not even an option in Trousdale. So instead of that, he has to take anger management classes, the career exploration classes, the drug addiction classes, even though he never had drug addiction problems. Never ever. I have all kinds of certificates of the programs that he passed. I know you probably noticed some of the pictures I have here on my table. That's me visiting Geoffrey in Northeast Correctional. I think we were celebrating New Year, and this is the first time in 2024. He had a terrible beard. I begged him to shave it, and he did. Whenever I visited him with the kids, he didn't wear a beard, so it was nice, very nice visit. Conditions in this prison are slightly got better after Department of Justice started their investigation on the prison. And Geoffrey did an interview with a journalist about the life inside. Let's listen to it.
We begin with Operation Crime and Justice. A phone interview this afternoon with a prisoner inside Core Civic's Trousdale Turner Correctional Center in Hartsville, which is under investigation right now by the U.S. Justice Department for alleged inmate abuse.
After our story about the DOJ investigation aired Tuesday night, several inmate families reached out with complaints about what they call dangerous conditions at Trousdale Turner.
Inmate Geoffrey Paschal tells me he hasn't been assaulted, but he's witnessed it happening to others.
It's like open season on the inmates, so I've watched them physically get, beat up and bloodied.
Both tell me prison staffers threaten inmates and refuse to protect them.
We're sheep being fed to the wolves.
So after the investigation started, Geoffrey noticed some small improvements, like the quality of food became slightly better. They started to do better during the visitation, let us actually in time or 10-15 minutes later, not like 30-45 minutes as it used to be. But what is still bad is communication with the lawyer. So our lawyer, it takes him a lot of time and effort to schedule just a simple lawyer-client call. It's hard to get in-person visits for the lawyer, and it seriously hurts our case. They can't work on the case. I'm really very concerned on how it will work out. Anyway, despite all the terrible struggles, there is one bright side. We can finally see each other. I lost my privilege to visit him in Northeast Correctional Complex, but here in Trousdale, I'm able to come for that small amount of time every other weekend, but I use that time to spend it with my loved one, to hold our hands, to kiss, to think about our future, to make plans, and I'm pretty sure these plans will come true sooner than you think they will. Thank you so much for being here and listening to me. What else would you want me to talk about in my next video? Please let me know in the comments, and of course subscribe so you won't miss an update. See you next time. Take care.